Hi. So 654A was our first pedophilia mention of Biden, but now we need to give you background of Rod Rosenstein. So I'm going to read two sections of transcripts about Rod Rosenstein so you understand how big a criminal this guy is. So this was taken in January 2021 by the same confidential interviews about Rod Rosenstein by a court reporter. And it's about ghost stories, which was a special ops sequencing heavy surveillance, Russian assets. It was Obama and Biden who did the Russian reset along with Secretary Clinton, and they didn't want any problems with the Russians, so they told them to cancel it. Okay, now we're talking about Russian collusion here, which Jim Himes says he has evidence of Trump's Russian collusion, because Himes is the worst criminal in the United States, because when you hear about what he's been doing and what he's up to. Now we just got the data yesterday. In 2020, 251 people died of Oxycontin because of Jim Himes and his bribery. So let's continue. I don't want to go off on too many tangents, but there are paragraphs here that I'm going to highlight. You know, I can show you, I can send you give me an email address, I'll send you the transcripts. You can read them yourself. By the way, we're getting more and more transcripts during the day. This just came. That's a pretty substantial one. Okay, now, Rod Rosenstein, he was angling for a big position. Attorney General, Supreme Court, then hopefully Vice President. So he didn't want anything to go wrong, okay, with the Russian collusion hoax. So the deal was, now there's a guy named Sean who's being interviewed, okay? They don't tell you the last name because they're trying to keep his identity secret. And so the deal was, you get 6 years, keep your mouth shut, or we'll go after you for everything and get 40. But he started talking. Had too much access when he was in Terre Haute, and they brought him out to Virginia, where he is now, just to keep an eye on him. So they have assets working. That's a little background for the next transcript about Seth Rich. Now, Seth Rich was murdered by MS-13 as he was handing over zip drives on Hillary Clinton. Okay, so Rod Rosenstein set up the first part. This is an interview about Rod Rosenstein, and you should read it because there's the information in this thing is a mind blower. This is an interview with Ryan Dark White. This is an interview for attorney Lynn Wood. It is Saturday, January 9th, 2021. Now they're talking about control issues and naming names, okay? Not that important. This was just a means of control, a means to discredit me to keep their secrets, you know. Don't believe anything he says. He's a scumbag, no matter what. He's a scumbag. He's talking about Rosenstein. Okay? Interviewer. Questions and answers. Questions and answers. Ready? Interviewer. The death of Seth Rich? Uh-huh. And Rod Rosenstein was witting in this. I don't know what that means. In this operation as well, I believe. Correct? Yes, correct. Cough. Drinks water. Sorry. It was for their reasons, for illegal reasons. But it was to cover up for himself. When Seth Rich had gone in the first time, I don't have much information about that. Then I was told, but I can only talk about what I saw personally, okay? His first contact with WikiLeaks. I just didn't know. Okay. Here we go. They were worried about the exposure, okay? The DNC Hillary and Bowser Bowser and Brazil, they were all very worried about it, but Rod was personally worried about it as well because he had been authorizing stuff to affect Hillary Clinton, and he didn't want it to come out because he would be out of it. He would be done. He would not be appointed to anything. He had personal interest in that one. So here we go. Seth Rich was accidentally murdered, they say, though the instructions were to do whatever they had to do. So it was intended to be an assassination of Seth Rich, or was it more intended to be a robbery? Intended to be a robbery, though. Rough him up. And they wanted the thumb drive that he routinely carried on him. Okay? The information was going to pass on to WikiLeaks. So Seth Rich was murdered for handing over information, according to Rod Rosenstein, for WikiLeaks. That's what they wanted. It's a tenuous relationship. Of course it is. So we had to recover it. But Rod put it in additional, all on it was get it, no matter how. What the guy was skipping around. He was the one who went outside the local people and hired 2 MS-13 people down south and brought them up. They came up, they met him, he brought them into the city, and things went poorly beyond that. They were supposed to rob him. Then the 2 guys went ahead and killed him, shot him, and he died later. They recovered the thumb drive, which was then switched for the one that Rod Rosenstein had provided, the one that Sean had loaded up for him previously. So Sean was the last guy they interviewed. Then they interviewed this guy. So he did. He was able to recover altering emails, breaking into Hillary Clinton's server, things like that. The thumb drive was encrypted. They gave it to a couple of people. They know who those people are. So it went badly once he died. It was supposed to be a robbery. The next thing, Donna Brazil and Muriel Bowser, the mayor of D.C. and the DNC chair, were at the hospital before he was ever brought in. So they got a call, okay? And they did have people at the crime scene as well. And they were there to recover the thumb drive. This is testimony in a court action by Lynn Wood, who's being discredited when Donna Brazil was at the hospital before the patient. So she knew. Let's put Donna Brazil's picture up on this one. Let's call it Donna Brazil and Rod Rosenstein covering up murder for the DNC. Let's call it that. Thank you. This is 8 minutes. But we're going to do a lot today, and I hope you follow, because the other stuff, when we get to it, I hope it enables discussions about why people vote for Donna Brazil, or why they even watch her, how she got hired, why she's a talk show host. Give us a break, folks. Thank you.